please, PaperCrafts. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing how I repair paper pads when they start to kind of come apart. I know a lot of people that have paper pads, they like to keep them in the pad and not take it apart. And so it's kind of frustrating when you get one like this that just literally is falling apart. I have 3 different paper pads here, and I've been going through and organizing my paper pads. I created an inventory system, and I've also added this tab to the back cover of all my 12 by 12 paper pads. And I did that because I was finding as I was pulling them in and out of the cubes that this was causing the paper pad covers to come off. And I think that this having these labels on here, the tabs, it gives you a way to not only see what the pad is. I put the manufacturer and I also put the name of the pad, but it also gives kind of like a handle to be able to pull the pads in and out of your bookcase, or I keep mine in the recollections cubes, so it gives you a way to pull it in and out without damaging your paper pad. The reason why I pulled this one to fix is because it needs a little bit of a repair. I noticed the other day when I was looking at it, it's starting to separate just at this corner right here, and I'm going to be fixing that. I've had some that completely separated the entire cover, and in this case with this particular one here, the entire paper pad is separated from the cover, but the binding that binds the paper together is still intact. So I think I'm going to be repairing that a little bit differently than I normally would. Usually I use duct tape, but I think with that one, since the paper itself is staying in the pad, I might just glue the cover back on. What I like to do is I like to just take it apart, and I'm just going to take all of these apart, and I'm going to be right back. So once you have all of the paper separated from the original binding and it's all loose, the next thing you're going to want to do is to grab some duct tape. And I'm using the Duck brand. It's the transparent. You can use any duct tape in any color. It doesn't really matter. I just like using the transparent one because it's not as noticeable that I actually did this repair. So what we're going to do next is, let me move these out of the way. And I just wanted to show you a couple of options for this next step. One of the things that I found makes this super easy and just helps the process along is to have something like this really thin ruler. This is actually a thicker alignment guide, and it came in this pack right here. And I actually ended up having to buy myself another set of these because I kind of ruined this doing this, putting duct tape on it. So I just as a warning, if you have anything, any kind of ruler or guide like this that has printing on it, I don't know if you can see here, but I put the duct tape on the side that the printing was on, and it literally just ripped the writing right off of there. These Tuesday Mornings have had these in their store for a few months now, and you can get a set for about $5. So I just went ahead and got a second set, and I'll just make sure to use only this one when I'm doing other things like sticking duct tape to it. And this comes with the straight guide as well as some curved guides. And if you love thickers, this is an awesome tool to have in your craft room. So the other thing that I thought that you could use would be a cutting mat or a cutting plate, anything basically that you could stick duct tape to that the duct tape would come off. And you want something that has a smooth and straight edge on it. So let me go ahead and show you what I do. And if you have this and you want to use it, if you feel the ruler or the guide, you can actually tell that the writing is on this side. So if I use this, I can make sure to use it on that side. It works a little bit better. So I'm going to take a piece of duct tape. So we just want it to be as long or longer. And I'm going to cut a piece off here, just with my scissors. So the next thing I'm going to do, I like this using this ruler because it has these lines on there. And so what I've been doing is just using that as a guide to place the tape down, and I used to use that line right there. Okay, now I stuck the tape down to the ruler. What I'm going to do is flip this over, and now the sticky part is right there. So what you're going to do is take your paper pad, you're going to flip it upside down and kind of just like make sure all the pages are lined up and even at the bottom. So once we have that, I'm just going to grab the bottom of it I'm going to apply it to the duct tape and press really, really hard. Okay, next thing I'm going to flip it over and just press it with my fingers along the end, and then you're just going to fold this down and press down on the back cover. Now I have some overlap here and I'm going to trim that away. I'll trim it away in a minute, but I just want to make sure I've got really good contact with the duct tape. Now it's still attached to the ruler, so the next step you need to do is to take this and you're going to just peel the ruler off. All right, so let's check it out. So you can see that all of the pages are staying in there. If you have any that are falling out, you can just keep burnishing it with your finger just to make sure that the duct tape is really adhered to all the pages. And it looks like some of them are still not stuck. And I did this with 12 by 12 pads and I had a lot of luck with it. I think this pad in particular, when I took it apart, it had quite a bit of the binding sticking to the pages, so that might have had something to do with why it's not completely sticking there. But yeah, it looks like it's still not sticking. This didn't work out as I expected it to, and in fact, it's just as bad as it was before I actually put the duct tape on there. I've done this before with probably about 20 different 12 by 12 paper pads, and I've never had them do this. And I'll show you one that I did. So this is one, it's a 12 by 12. I added the duct tape and the pages were coming out of this one as well. And you can see as I flip through it, nothing is falling out. So I'm thinking that what happened is there was some adhesive or on the edges of some of the pages, and it was preventing some of the other pages from sticking to the duct tape. So like if you look at this one, there on the edge of this, I don't know, it may be hard to see on the camera, but there's like a line here of the old binding or adhesive. And I think if you have a lot of that on your pages, that may prevent you from getting a good bond between the paper and the duct tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paper pad apart again and trim off the edge of all the pages, and we'll try it again. Okay, so now it works. The next thing I wanted to show was if you have one like this where the cover is just starting to fall off or come apart, but the pages are still okay. What I usually do in that case is I will just take a piece of tape. You can go all the way across, but since this is just really on that one little edge right there, I'm probably just going to go across just about maybe 4 inches. And it's basically the same type of thing. You're going to stick your tape onto the ruler, flip the ruler over so the adhesive is facing up. We're going to apply this to the paper pad. And I'm going to flip it over. and then just give it a little bit of a trim. This stuff is so sticky. It does work really well though. You know, I actually did try using just regular packing, like shipping tape, to repair like just this kind of a problem, and it didn't stay stuck. It didn't work. So the duct tape is really the only thing that I found, the only kind of tape that I found that actually stays stuck and keeps things together. So now you can see that this paper pad is now no longer coming away from the covers staying on there, and so it's not going to rip further. So it's good to, if you have one that's starting to come apart, to go ahead and take care of that and just make a little small repair so that you're not ending up having to do a major surgery on it. And then for this kind of an issue with this paper pad is that it's just the covers coming off, but all the pages are staying in the binding. It's all staying together. So really the only thing you would need to do here is to glue this. And I'm thinking that the best thing to try in this case is, I've never done this before, but I'm thinking that I could just take this liquid glue and just reapply the cover, because the paper pad itself isn't intact, and if I had to take all this paper out of this paper pad, that would be a pain. So we'll take this glue and we're just going to apply it to the cover. Alright, so if y'all are interested in organization, I'm starting a new series. I have a couple of videos. I think this is my 4th video that I've put out there in the past couple weeks. And I'm planning to do more, so if you're interested, please subscribe. And I started a Facebook group just for this organization series. If you're interested in joining, I'll put a link to the Facebook group in the description below, and you can follow that link, request to join, and I'll add you to the group. If you like this video, give it a like. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe and then come back. And I'll be doing my next video that's going to go up is going to be on 12 by 12 paper and cardstock and how I store that. So hopefully you'll come back and see that video. So thanks, and everybody have an awesome day. We'll see you next time. Bye now.